Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the third episode of writing a in-memory database in-memory key-value database in C programming language. So far, we've written and implemented the hash table, which can store key-value pairs in it, and you can also insert and then search for the keys. That was something that we talked about, and we implemented it in the previous sessions. So if you've not watched it, please do, because otherwise it's not going to be meaningful to you. It's going to be really hard to follow. So that's it for now. As promised in the third episode, I'm going to try to implement a interactive shell kind of thing, which can actually ask for commands from the user and detect what user means in terms of if he or she wants to insert something, and also if he or she wants to get something from the database, and it will do the operation on the hash table and return the value back. So that's our aim for today. That's our goal. And that's it. Let's just start designing the high level overview of it. So I'm going to just show you what should it look like actually. So I want our program to print something like this symbol, like greater when running the executable file of our program. Then it will wait for commands from the user in the shell in the terminal. And user can say add city Amsterdam, and that's going to be the key value pairs that should be added to the hash table. And as a result, it should return something like OK, meaning that the insertion was successful. So here, in terms of key value pairs, it is the key, the city is the key, and the Amsterdam, which is in the, let's say, double quotes, is going to be our value. And the add is command, right? And I'll show it with C. So that's one operation. As the second one, user also can say get city, and as a result, it should return Amsterdam. Here, get is command, city is the key that we're searching for, and Amsterdam is the value queried in the database, queried from database, and put it in the terminal. That's the whole thing that we're trying to do. As the third command, probably it's better to also have the deletion command, but let's just leave it for now, because if we were successful writing add and get, I wouldn't say deletion could be really hard, because it's just searching, finding the node, finding the entry, and that simply deleting it or making it, switching it to a empty entry. Let's keep that for later. It's an easy one. We can just do it whenever we want. Just for your information, we have to write the program in a way that it doesn't really stop whenever we send the command and we receive back the value or the response. So it should always keep running. It should always, like, I'm going to explain. Like, if I say add name, it should be like this. Add name Emad, and then it's going to be OK. Then it's going to again ask for the other command. So it shouldn't end the program. It should be interactive. So that's what I'm aiming for now. This is so far the thing we have implemented. I think I have to complete this one. And it did work, but since I'm not going to use hashing mechanisms here anymore, we're going to use it, but not now. I will delete that for now, and I'm going to focus on the interactive shell implementation. So for getting user input from standard input, there's this function called fgets, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go and search for fgets. True. And in the description of the manual, it says the fgets function reads at most one less than the number of characters specified by size from the given stream. And that stream can be actually your std standard input. And it stores them in the string str. Let me show you. First of all, I'm gonna go with an array of character called buffer with a fixed size. I would go for 64. I can't imagine a command longer than that for now. It can be a long one. Let's go with 128 for now. And then here is how it works. So fget accepts the buffer as the first argument, and then we have to say how long we have to read. I'm gonna say as long as buffer is, and the file here can be stdin. That's the whole point. And once you do that, you can have let's just print it to see if that works. And I'm gonna be like print buffer. I can't type. Cool. Let's run. Let's compile. And then let's run. And hello, hello. That's it. But keep in mind, fgets. Let's go back to the manual actually. Fgets. Fgets as a return value, upon successful completion, fgets and gets return a pointer to the string. If end of file occurs before any character are read, they return null. So if it returns null, you need to somehow tell the user that the input was not a correct one. So I would go with if fgets returns null, or like this, I'll simply stop my program, but in the meantime just printf and say error incorrect input. Does that make sense? That should. And then if it is not null, we know that something is entered in the std input, and then we just print it. But before starting even asking for the command, I would go with the symbols I showed you, the creator and creator, because that gives the more feeling of you're interacting with the interactive terminal. And once you do that, you can say, as you say, you see those, and you can say hello, and then you get hello. But as I told you, I don't want the program to stop whenever I hit enter and I get the result back. So for that, I would go with the while loop, which the condition is 1, so it will retry it until we want, until we terminate it, until we send the terminate signal to the program. And once we do this, let me format the buffer. Once we do this, I would say it's gonna just continue asking for new commands every time. Let's try it. Make main, hello, hello, hey, hey. That's really good. That's it for now. Let's now think about how we should know what user is asking us to do. Let's go back to the Excalidraw, and there I'm going to show you some stuff. So as you see here, we can actually say which one is command. The first one is always command, the second one is always the key, and the third one is always the value. But here we get the whole value in one variable called buffer, and we have to somehow find a way. Oh, sorry, I was on top of the text that I was explaining on. Sorry. So here, as I explained, we have this @name Emma as one string in our variable, and we have to really separate them and say the first one is our command, the second one is our key, and the third one is our value. And for doing that, we have to split this string by spaces. So if I can split the string by spaces, the first index is going to be the first one. The first part is going to be the command, as I explained. The second key, the third value. And this is going to be the longest possible input, because for getting something, there's going to be only two parts. So for that purpose, I will go with storing something weird. Actually, I'm gonna go with character tokens. I'm gonna go with the pointer tokens, and it should have a size of 3, as I explained, because that's the longest possible case. And then I'll have something called probably count, which is 0. And then I will try to strtok. Okay, let me show you a very, very weird thing about C programming languages. Man strtok. So there's this function from standard library, I think. Is it from standard library? Yeah, standard C library from libc. Which in the description it writes the str token function is used to isolate sequential tokens in a null terminated string. str, of course. These tokens are separated in the string by at least one of the characters in sep. Sep is here, so as the second argument, you're going to say what are you trying to do, and based on what you want to separate these parts. The first time that str token is called, str should be specified. Subsequent calls wishing to obtain the further tokens from the same string should pass a null pointer instead. So I know this might sound stupid when it comes to designing or writing a good way of code, because let me explain it to you. It is going to store a state internally in the function actually for you. So as you saw, as you just heard, the explanation says the first time you pass the str to this function, it's going to initialize a kind of state. And next time that you want to get the next token, separated token, it has that in the internal state, and you have to pass null as the first argument, and the second separated token is going to be returned to you. The pointer to it is going to be returned to you. For someone like me who is coming from a different world, from TypeScript world, from like Golang world, or I don't know, PHP world, this doesn't really look good. It can be really difficult when it comes to multi-threading, like multi-threaded applications. When it comes to writing multi-threaded programs, there are some approaches like str_r, of course, like this one. There you can have multi-thread safety, let's say, but still it's going to be really hard when you use this because it has an internal state in it, and that's not what I'm used to. Or probably you're not used to either. But just keep that in mind. Let's go back to the code. And here, we are going to use the strtok. I'm going to be like const. Should I use const? Or should I use token, actually? Let me just open up a strtok example, actually. Not from manual. Let's open up ChatGPT. Show me a strtok example in C. And there, I'll show you exactly how you can use it. So this input in our case is buffer. Then we have a token, pointer to token, but for me it's a fixed size. It is only 3 parts, so I'm gonna have a array of a pointer to an array of characters sized 3. That's what I want for now. Then the token is going to be, oh, sorry, this token is a different one. So the token here is something that is going to store the separated token, and that is really needed in our program as well. So I'm going to write character pointer to token, and there it should start with str, or can I just do like, I can do it. So I can do token equals strtok, exactly. Let me import it from a correct header. It should be in, I guess, as I told you, std standard library. Yeah. No? Probably I'll need the string h as well. Yeah, okay. And as the first argument, I'll just say I am doing some stuff on buffer. As the second one, I'm going to say I'm splitting by space. And now I can say while token is not null, and of course, and end, or end, just end, count is less than 4 or less than 3. Yeah, because we're starting from 0. Yeah. Then do some stuff for me. Whatever I'm going to do is I will be like tokens, of course, the pointer to it, count plus plus is going to store a duplicate of the token that I was talking about. I think I don't need the dereferencing actually here. So once I do that, then I can actually get the next one, which is token equals str token. The manual set just pass in null and just with a space. True. Once I do that, I would say I have to be able to say I'm looking for tokens 0, for example, and that should have only the command for us. I'm not sure. Let's try make re main add name emot. That's true. We have the add now. And if I say 1, which is the key, make re add name emot, and now we can. Okay, now we're splitting the string, the buffer, let's say, based on spaces in a correct way. But now I have to really have a way of detecting what user is asking us. If it is add, I have to call the insert function, and if it is a get command, I have to call the search function, right? But for those kind of things, the thing I usually do is I usually define an enum for that. So type def enum, I'll go with cmd add for the first one, then cmd get, and the name command type, probably true. And then I am going to create a function which returns command type, and it maps that specific string to one of these enums. Map command type. Let's be C developers and go with map cmd type. And there I'll accept a constant character pointer of cmd. And there I'll be like if str compare, the first one is going to be cmd, the second is going to be add. If it is 0, in the previous session I explained it to you, strcmp returns 0 in case they match. It is, usually we think in the other way around, but just be aware that it doesn't return 1, it returns 0 if they match. And here I'm going to return cmd add. And if I'm going to have the same one here, and say if it is get, return cmd get. That's it. And if we don't know what is it, just simply return unknown. Am I true? Yeah, that should be unknown. And you can return actually cmd unknown. That's fine. Once we do that, here we are going to, let's write a command here. Map the command. I'm gonna be like command type equals cmd equals map cmd there, and then I know tokens 0 is always the command. And once I have the cmd, I can now perform a switch kind of thing here. So switch, the expression I'm looking for is cmd, and the case is like if it is cmd add, then do some stuff here. And I'll go with inserting some stuff. That's where I need the hashing mechanisms. So ht, exactly. And if there is, let's write them in separated functions. I think that is much easier when it comes to, or no, I don't think it is really different. Let's write it here, then we can organize our code. I'll go with, yeah, I'll go with insert. The key is always tokens 1, and the value is always tokens 2. And once that is done, just remember returning. Isn't it return? How does the switch in C work? I really don't know. Let's clang switch. This is an example. There's no like a example for me to just take a look at it. Show me an example of clang switch. Is it break or return? It is break. Oh, that was the case then. It's not return. It is break. And as we saw, it is going to return us 0 or 1. 1 means inserted, 0 means not inserted. So int result, if result is not correct, then just print f error insert or add unsuccessful. There might be a typo, but that's not really important. Do I need a return? Actually, I need a return here. And I can't use return. Or else, I don't like this way of writing code, but I'm going to clean it up later. Let's just write down okay. And don't forget, we have to also include these when we are even sending an error. And then break. I think we had another error somewhere. Yeah, here as well. So I'm going to add that. What is it? Label followed by a declaration and a C23 extension. I don't get what does it mean. Label followed by a declaration. I think it's just a matter of doing it in this way, right? It should be like, I'm not sure, but it should be like int res and then res, or no. Int. Oh, it should be, but it is an integer. The return type is an integer, actually. Let's just keep it like this, and later if we see it's not working, then we can just, yeah, we can just think about it if we get any kind of weird errors. And in case we get cmd get, there I'm gonna be like, just search in it, and the key is tokens 1. But what is it returning actually is pointer to a character. So I'll be like character result, or the value equals that. And then I'll be like simply just printf as value and break. That's what just comes to my mind for now. I'm pretty much sure we're gonna have some compilation errors. Make re true. Enumeration value unknown is not handled. You're right. Case cmd unknown. Let's just print error or error unknown command. And here also we have to add the symbol in the beginning of the string. Let's make re. It's compiled. And now I want to say add name Ahmad. Okay. Oh shit. I forgot this at the end of all of these shits. I have to create a new line, go to new line after I print out something. What else we have? There we go. We have this also. That should fix the whole issue now. Make re main. There we go. Add name Ahmad. Add city Amsterdam. Now get city null. Get name null. That's good. That we're not storing anything, or we're not actually getting anything in the correct way. I'm not really sure. So what is the reason that we get this issue actually? Um Insertion token 1, token 0. Let's debug our code, right? Let's do it. First of all, let's put some printfs here saying s, again s, I want key and the value to be stored there. Let me just check if that works. At name Ahmad, name and Ahmad is there. True. But I think I have to delete the quotations, no? Should I say at name Ahmad? And if I say get name, I don't think that's the issue actually. So the issue is not here. The issue is in search probably. So when you compare, you return null always. That's not good. That is not good. So print f is value. What is is value actually? Or what is is key? Yeah, let's do that. So s, again, s is key is important for me, and also is value is important for me. Make main at name emot. I'm just keeping the double quotes because I forgot implementing that part of it. I'm gonna just do it. That's not a big deal. But I just want to see if get name does work. It is like null, 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 name emot. Let's do something. Let's do something, actually. I'm going to go with AI for this one. As I told you, I also want to show you how exactly I use AI for these kind of things. Find the bug in my code where I add a pair like name emot. I get okay, but when getting name, I get null. It's not the hash table, I think. It can be the way that we're tokenizing and then we're splitting up the what is it called? The command itself. So let's wait for AI for this one. Okay. This this is the problem then. But I don't see the hash table being the insertion was not being called with forward slash n or forward slash 0. I didn't see it. Uh, I want to have a better way of debugging my code. So I'm gonna ask AI, write a function where I can create a where I can log my hash table in the console. This is gonna take a long time for me to implement it, so that's why I'm asking AI to do it for me. And the way it does it's like called print table. Let's just use this approach first of all. So inside the hash table module, we are going to have something like this print table. I have to add it also to the header. So void print table, not accepting anything, that's fine. And once I insert something, which is here, I want to print table. Yeah, I want to see how my data is being added there. And I probably have to remove the log I put there. Is it still there? No, it's not. I removed it. That's fine. So main at name emot. Okay. Did I add it in the wrong? Print table doesn't work. What is it? Print table should work, right? Table size. Yeah, it should work. Why it's not working? I close my terminal completely. So I should go back to cd code temp. No. cd code. What is it called? Temp, clang, simple db, exactly. And there I have it. So make re main at name emot. Empty, 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 occupied. Exactly. When I say get name, it's null. That's weird. That's really weird. I am going to go back to debugging the code by probably let me think. So I see that the thing is there, like the key value pair is there. So there's no issue when inserting the key values. But when reading it, when searching for it, I get null because I cannot find it. Is that true? That should be true. And here, if I go with yeah, let's go with printf again. I have some ideas. I'm gonna print the keys that it is actually looping on, and make re main at name emot. Yeah, get name null emot, and I think I'm doing a very stupid mistake somewhere here. Oh, sorry. Key. Make re main at name emot, get name null name. How that doesn't work? I mean, so if it is occupied, which is, and the key is actually key, I'm gonna do is like this. The key we are searching for is this one, right? Just the key. Remember to put a new line, and then the target, no, not the target, the key we are comparing with is this one, which is E. I mean E's key, and yeah, that's true. And then I will be like, yeah, I probably will be like, the entry's state is, I also need that one, state. That should be easy. But it's like, it's an enum unsigned int. Unsigned int. And when comparing those two, let's just run this program with those logs now. Make re at name emot and get name. So The key we're searching for is name. The key we're comparing with is null. The entry's state is 0. This I is extra, so you can just go with 0. But at the end, all of them are null, actually. But why? Should I dereference this? I don't think so. That it just worked. Am I mistaken? Like last session it was working perfectly. And for just having a better logging, I'll add this. Make re to exactly know what is happening behind the scenes. Add name. Emma get name. And here, the key we're searching for is name. The key we're comparing with is null. The entry's state is 0. And 0 is... And here, look at this one. The key we're comparing with is name. The entry's state is 1. The key also we're searching for is name. So name and name. What's wrong with it? But there's a new line here, as you see, right? There's an extra... Okay. I know what the issue is now. That was the thing that also ChatGPT suggested, but it's like there's an extra kind of /n. I'll be like, how can I remove the from the end of a string in clang? /n or 0. There should be a standard function for that, I think. strcpn. It's like, okay. And where I want to do that is like when inserting, I guess. In both, actually, I have to do that. It should be like, or no. I think it is important to do it first here. Saying token 0, token 1. I'll do it here, actually. I'll be like str CSPN. The first argument is the token. The second one is what we are actually trying to avoid. I can't type anymore. Yeah, /n. What is the issue there? Oh, it's changing the whole buffer. That's also a good idea. It's just like targeting the whole buffer instead of... That is a good idea, actually. So buffer equals strcpn. What the fuck am I doing? Sorry. Should be buffer strcpn. And there I have buffer, maybe. Yeah. As the second argument, it should be /n equals /0. But what does this mean? What kind of syntax is this? Possible pointer to integer. it's better to just do it like this. Fix it here. I really want to learn this. I know. Thank you for confirmation. But I just wrote the same thing, no? Oh, shit. It's the same shit here, but it's the character, not the string. I just noticed. Let's try now. Make main add name emot, get name emot. That's good. And now I have to remove print thing because I really don't have to print out what the database stores for now, but that's a good helper function for later to be used. Make main add name emot, add city Amsterdam, now get city, and now get name again. Yeah, so it works now. But the whole point of removing the double quotes from the beginning of it and the end of the value should be fixed, because okay, there was this concern stating that we have to find a way actually to support not only strings but any type. Like it can be boolean, it can be character, it can be string, it can be an integer, because later on we have to create a kind of query language for this, for example, to filter the records which store a number larger than or greater than 10, for example. And there, for the comparison, we have to have actually the support for integer type. But with this approach that we have right now, it is going to be impossible. But that's a to-do to fix in the future episode. But so far, this is the exact thing that I was aiming for in terms of implementation, right? So we can say add car, and it's BMW, or like this. And if I get the car, I get BMW. That's the whole point of having hashes. And if I do it a lot, I think I have to at some point get an error. Add sky test. Add something. Hey. But how is it possible? Because we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Test 1, hey. Add test 2, hey. Add unsuccessful. Why? Because the table has a fixed size of 8, I think, and we cannot add more than 8 values. And that's the other to-do that we have to implement in the next episode. We have to have automatic resizing, extending, and shrinking our table size. That's a very good challenging problem to solve, actually, but it's going to be solved in the next episode. So for the next episode, we are going to implement the resizing, automatic resizing of our table size, and then also probably we will talk about the query language or some introduction about how the query language should work in our database. That's the whole plan for the next one. Thanks for watching this episode as well, and have a nice one until we see each other next time.